Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over some knee-jerk reactions for Double Game Week 25, which is also a blank game week. It's going to be a crazy game week coming up. But if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, how did you get on in Game Week 24, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's see how I did in Game Week 24 before going on to the knee-jerk reaction for Game Week 25. Finished on a green arrow, a strong 61 points, a Game Week rank of 894k. Really needed this after last week's disaster class, but Kepa only getting 2 points at home to Southampton. I was really expecting a clean sheet in that game, but I mean, he made quite a few changes. Reece James wasn't even in the squad. I don't know if he's got like another injury or if that was just because of rest or something, but either way, Kepa did concede, which I was really unhappy about, because as soon as that went in, I thought it was going to be a bit of an interesting game week, but actually finished off pretty well. The back line was just horrendous this week. Ake not starting against Forest and coming on for a 1-pointer. Trippier only getting 1 point. I mean, that Newcastle-Liverpool game was just kind of ridiculous. Also came off on like the 60-odd minute or something like that. And then also Ben White only getting 1 point as well. I didn't actually play Ben White this week. I actually played Mitrovic, but he came off my team and White came off my bench because obviously he wasn't in the squad, because owning Mitrovic is such a glorious thing this season. Luke Shaw getting me 6 points though, which I was really happy about. Unfortunately, did come off on like the 70th minute, so he did miss out on one bonus because he was on... Dude, the bonus thing was really good for me this week because like Fernandes was on 3, Rashford was on 2, and then Shaw was on 1. But yeah, unfortunately, Shaw did get knocked off that third spot, and I think Lindelof beat him by like 1 point or something like that. But either way, the back line terrible this week, apart from Luke Shaw saving me, but a lot of 1s and 2s there. The midfield really was just where all my points came from this week. Rashford getting me 15 points. He was my vice captain this week. I was really opting to go for him, but I thought just because of the fact that, I mean, as a Forest fan, I didn't think we were going to get anything from this game. I noticed at home, and we've been a lot better at home this season, but both our main centre-backs were out. Haaland scored a hat-trick in the reverse fixture, so I just wasn't really expecting anything good, and especially when they went 1-0 up as well, I was like, this is going to go downhill pretty fast. But fair play to Forest, we absolutely smashed. I mean, we had so many chances against us, and to be fair, Haaland should have put one away. I don't know how he missed that shot from like 2 yards out, but either way, they missed a lot of chances. I feel like we got quite lucky with that draw, and especially Chris Wood of all people scoring a goal, because I don't rate Chris Wood at all, and so for him to then go and score against the champions was quite interesting. But yeah, either way, Rashford got me 15 points, Saka got me 6. Still, that Martinelli to Saka transfer has been quite nice. I did do it for a hit this week, a couple of weeks ago. The only problem was Martinelli then came on and scored that open goal in the last minute, which was really annoying because it just kind of hurt my rank a little bit. But either way, Saka got 6, Fernandes got 12. I'm not too annoyed about the Mahrez transfer last week now because I wouldn't have had Fernandes this week. So all in all, I think over the last 3 game weeks, Fernandes has outscored Mahrez by like 1 point. Which, you know, I'm happy with. Ake's obviously been terrible for me, but I was really happy that Fernandes popped off this week. Could have had multiple more assists as well in the last 3 game weeks as well. I thought I was a little bit unlucky. Odegaard getting 8 points, definitely should have scored as well. He should have come out with like a 13 bomb that game. He missed that really easy chance when it was squared to him from Nketiah. I know Nketiah owners weren't too happy about that, but as an Odegaard owner, I was really not happy about that. But yeah, he got 3 bonus still anyway, but could have been another 5 points, which would have been so good. And then yeah, Haaland captaincy, a little bit of a flop this week, and then Kane getting 5 points, picking up another assist, another attacking return, which was really nice to see. And then yeah, my bench of Ward getting me 2 points, Mitrovic not playing, Andreas getting 3, and then Patterson getting 0. So that's how my game week 24 went. Very happy with it. Definitely could have been more because Fernandes could have got another assist, Odegaard could have got a goal, Shaw could have got a bonus, Ake could have started. I mean, he wouldn't have got the clean sheet anyway, but it would have been an extra point. Kepa could have got a clean sheet, but either way, can't be too greedy. Let's move on to the knee-jerk reactions for game week 25, which is also a blank and also a double. It's going to be such a crazy game week because people are going to be captaining Haaland, people are going to be captaining Salah, people are going to be captaining Saka. There's going to be so much variety this week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun week. This is going to be like a massive turning point in the season as well, I believe. But anyway, the most transferred in players for game week 25 are pretty much all Liverpool players. We've got Gakpo, which is higher than Salah. The only way I could see that being possible is because Salah is like 5 mil more. But Gakpo's minutes are still a little bit of a doubt for me. The massive thing about Liverpool, though, is that Darwin is potentially injured, because a lot of people are hopefully going to be bringing him in. But if he's injured, then people aren't going to be going towards him. So, yeah, because originally I would have liked to have gone Mitrovic to Darwin, but you know, I don't know if Mitrovic is going to play. I don't know if Darwin's going to play. And also, I need to kind of get rid of Fernandes this week. My ideal play would have been to get rid of Shaw and Fernandes for Tarkowski and Salah, and I would have been able to do that if I'd made those transfers like during game week 24, but it's always so risky to do that, and now I've been priced out by like 0.2 because Fernandes has gone down and Tarkowski has gone up, so I'm 0.2 out of there. So if I do want to bring in Tarkowski and Salah this week, I'll have to take a hit, which I'm not completely against because I'll probably be able to get another double game week player, but at the same time I could have done it without a hit, which is a little bit annoying. But either way, Gakpo has been brought in by over 200,000 people. Scored again, he scored in the last 2 games, but his minutes are still a little bit of a risk in my personal opinion. I'm not 100% convinced by him now. Again, we've got like, as much as it's going to be nice to bring in players already, we've got Champions League fixtures coming up. I think Real Madrid and Liverpool actually play this week, which is going to be a big game. So we'll have to see like who plays in that, if anyone gets injured in that, because that's a massive game. So hold off on transfers if you possibly can. I know that a lot of people are going to be priced out of moves this week, but imagine if you bring in Salah or Gakpo and then they get injured, you know, midweek. It's just one of those things. Salah is the second most brought in player this week, though, with over 150,000 people bringing him in. Again, Liverpool looked to be a little bit better recently. I mean, the Newcastle game, obviously they were playing 10 men for most of it, but it was still a really good win for Liverpool away at Newcastle. And again, Newcastle haven't conceded 2 goals all this season, I don't think. At least they haven't conceded 2 in a very, very long time. But either way, yeah, Salah getting I think he got an assist in that game. I didn't watch a huge amount of the Liverpool game. I just kind of watched the highlights and stuff. But Saka, the third most brought in player this week with 150,000 people. Again, I think him and Salah are going to be the most captain players with Haaland, obviously, so I can see why people are bringing him in. Trent, I mean, I'm still not completely convinced about Liverpool's defence, and it's just one of those, because Trent and Robertson are just so expensive, and Van Dijk as well, and I don't know if it's worth using all that money to bring them in. The thing about Liverpool players as well is they potentially might not blank in game week 25. It depends if Fulham go through or get knocked out, because if Fulham go through and they beat Leeds, then obviously Liverpool blank in game week 25, but if Leeds beat them, then that means that Fulham and Liverpool do not blank in game week 28, which would be kind of insane, because I've got quite a few Fulham players in Mitrovic and Andreas Pereira, and also if I bring in any Liverpool players, they will also not blank as well. So that'll be a massive turning point of whether I play my free hit in game week 28 or not, because I think that's what I'm probably going to end up doing, just because I don't think I'm going to have enough players in that week. And then also Alisson being brought in by a lot of people as well, 130,000. I don't know how I feel about that. I think owning a Liverpool keeper isn't the best kind of ideal move. And I feel like if you're doing that, you've probably already got 2 other Liverpool players, because I don't think that Alisson is, you know, if you've got no Liverpool players like me, Alisson isn't the first player that I'm going for. You know, I'm going to be bringing in a Salah or a Darwin or a Gakpo or something like that, or a Trent or a Robertson. Alisson, I feel like you'd only be bringing in if you already had, you know, 1 or 2 players. So yeah, I don't think it's the most exciting move, especially because it also locks you out of another outfield Liverpool player. But either way, people are doing it. Maybe he'll come good and they'll get 2 clean sheets or whatever, because there is a little bit of rotation in that back line as well. You know, Tsimikas can play instead of Robertson, Milner I guess can play instead of Trent, but Alisson, like Edison, is going to be playing every single week. Anyway, next up, let's go on to the most transferred out players this week. And Nick Pope, I feel like he was going to be transferred out quite a bit, but with that red card as well, with the -3, it's probably pissed off people even more. He does only miss the Carabao Cup, so it doesn't really like affect anything really anyway. I think he pretty sure just misses the Carabao Cup and then he's back for game week 26, which he would have been anyway, because he would have blanked in 25 regardless. So I don't think it's like the biggest issue. I think people are just a little bit pissed. So maybe they're going from Pope to Alisson. I can kind of see that move actually. Maybe that's why he's been brought in by so many people. Trippier, most transferred out as well. I would take Trippier out, but I think I brought him in for like 5.3 and he's now like 6.1. And so I'd be losing so much money. It might have even been like 5.2 or whatever, or 5.1. I've got a lot of money saved up in Trippier, and it's just, for me, it's not worth it, because I'd be spending an extra like 0.6, 0.7, because he's going to go down in price probably like twice by the time that game week 27 rolls around. But then he's got like Wolves and then Forest, so everybody's going to be jumping back on him. So I don't think for me it's worth getting rid of him and then having to spend like an extra 0.67 just to bring him in. It's not worth it. Almiron being taken out by 159,000 people as well. Again, completely understand that. All of these players are just going to be players that are blanking this week, which was always going to happen. Tony, another player, which again was one of the most transferred players in this week, and now he's one of the most transferred out. Again, it's one of those knee-jerk reaction things. There's just it's not worth it, because you're using a transfer to bring him in and then a transfer to take him out. And then Rashford as well. I'm really surprised that Fernandes isn't higher on this list, but I guess that's just because people own Rashford more. It's one of those things like I think the ideal bench this week is going to be like Rashford, Trippier, and then another either like a Man United or Newcastle player, or maybe like a Brighton player or a Tony or something like that. Because they're the players that you don't really need to get rid of, because especially Tony, who like doubles, I think in like 27 or something like that, and your Brighton players do as well. So they're players that you kind of want to keep hold of. You don't really want to be getting rid of Trippier as well, because he doesn't blank in 28. Rashford will blank in 28, but he's having the season of his life. These are players that you don't necessarily want to get rid of. So if you can possibly keep them, like a lot of people are kind of like they're just on the idea that they have to field 11 players. But the good thing about this week is it's a double game week, so you might only have 10 playing players, but then like 3 of those, again, like your Arsenal players, will all have doubles. So in like reality, you don't have 10 players, you have like 13, 14, 15 players, because that's how many games you've got. So it's a bit of a luxury this week having so many doublers. So if you do bring in a Liverpool player, but you can only field 10, you're still getting 2 fixtures from that transfer anyway. So that's the way I see it anyway. So if I do bring in Tarkowski and Salah this week, that's 4 extra fixtures that I'm getting. So that's the way I see it, but either way, people might be different. I don't know. I think just not seeing 11 players playing is a little bit of it's a hard pill to swallow, but at the same time, there's so many doublers this week, so I think it's okay. Anyway, though, that's going to be the most transferred in and out players this week. All the knee-jerk reactions for blank/double game week 25. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. How did you get on in game week 24? What are you doing for double game week 25? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.